My content is intended for adult collectors of the product, not made for kids. Hello everyone! Now, for this video, what I really want to do here is talk about Beyblade Burst Quad Drive. Now, since we already know what's going on with Wave 2, let's go ahead to the future and try to see with Wave 3 if I can do my best predictions for what Hasbro is going to do before we eventually see this information in a month or two. That being said, if you are new here, subscribe to the channel with bell notifications on, and make sure you comment your thoughts with all that is talked about on this video. Now, with that being said, we're going to go over the first bay. That being said, Astral Spryzen. Now, I think Hasbro is going to choose the left side for Astral Spryzen and not the right side. The left side is more iconic. It is used more in promotional stuff, regardless of what Shu uses in the anime. And that being said, either way, I think what they're going to do, as I have my Astral Spryzen right here that we're going to show, what I think they're going to do is that this half, similar to World Spryzen, gone. There is no bottom half of it. They're just going to have it like where it's dual spin, where rights can go on this and lefts can go on it. Incorrectly like done before. The reason why is because they're not going to learn from their mistakes, and it's the cheapest way for them to do the dual spin on the actual ring, and it makes a lot of sense. Now, the core, if we go back to the edited image that I have, the core, I think, is going to have the top part gone. I also think there is no rubber on it. I think we can safely assume for the longest time, if they're not going to do it, they're not going to do it here. And of course, we're going to insert the Hasbro apologist comment, but ZANKYE, they're going to do the Pro Series Astral Spryzen, or whatever stupidity that they might actually say. Now, moving on to the actual disc, if we go back to the camera here, the Overdust, we're going to talk about it. So, we're going to be talking about now the Overdust. Now, how do I think Hasbro is going to do it? Now, do you see basically the bottom half right here, I think, sliced off. Similar to tapered, they either will hollow out the insides, which not really much to do. I think they're just going to cut it in half. I think actually Over might be lighter than Hasbro's tapered, simply because of how they like to cut things and make the weight a lot less than what it actually is. So for Overdust, I don't have the highest expectations. Ideally, it is 26 grams or above. I think if Hasbro does the discs heavy enough, they can be useful, because so far they aren't really. And lastly, Quattro. Now, this is going to surprise you. Now, if you know, Quad Drive is about 4-in-1. There's two modes to this. There's one with the armor tip and one without. But this will surprise you, because Quattro has 4 modes. I know, it's an actual 4-in-1. But how is Hasbro going to do it? They're not going to give us 4 different attachments. No. What I think they're going to do is they'll probably give us either defense, and they'll give a regular attack. I don't think they'll give Unite or the stamina, or maybe they do the stamina and the attack. Obviously, I do think either way, there's no metal and no rubber on it, but that's how I think they're going to do it. I do find it very funny how Quad Drive is labeled with innovation, but on the actual tips we want done right, not really. But that's how I think Quattro is going to be done. Now, since the tips are kind of the same height, I'm not expecting too different for any destabilization or anything like that. But aside from that, we're going to move on to our next one, which is Guilty. Now, with Guilty Longinus, Photoshop done by moi, edited concept, don't worry. With Guilty Longinus, I think it's safe to say, obviously, they're not going to do the metal. Like, at this point, we know it. Is it sad? Of course it is, but it's what we can expect from Hasbro. Now, I also do think that there's not going to be any red eyes on the blade. I think on the core, definitely. I think there is no detail of the yellow stickers. I also don't think the little things on the side get painted at all. I don't think we're going to get that. Now, if I also show Guilty Longinus, aside from metal, there is an important part to Guilty we are forgetting about. Well, not really important, but it is molded on there. With that being said, it's this bottom part. Do you see all this extra? I think this little section right here that we can see, gone, hollowed out. It's going to be painted. Yeah.
Metallic paint. That's how much you got.
No, yeah, of course, yeah. The armor metallic paint. No, I'm talking about this. Yeah, definitely. This part will definitely get removed for sure. It is very much in Hasbro's nature to delete stuff. Now, with that being said, Karma is light enough as is. How can they possibly kill Karma? I think it's going to be the same. Now, do you notice how there's that thick underside of the blade? I think, again, that gets removed and cut in half. Very easy to see and predict. But there's the topic. What about Metal Destroy? Obviously, they're not going to do the metal cap or anything. No, yeah, they painted with metallic paint. No, so with Destroy, obviously, we already have a tall version of Destroy with Destroyer SPM. However, since quad drive performance tips don't really have actual gimmicks, we are going to probably see something similar to the Hypersphere Destroyer, where it'll just be tall like this, but also fixed like that. Garbage, most likely, but also, I think they'll probably pair up Destroy with Balance. I don't think they'll do Guilty with Stamina or Defense. If so, that's going to be really weird. They'll probably pair it up with like Destroy plus Fusion or something, knowing Hasbro. Now, there is our last contender, which I don't actually have an image for, which is, I think, our prediction 3 on there, which is going to be Wrath Cobra. Now, there is a disc on Cyclone Bellfire that I believe will actually go on Wrath Cobra. Now, if we go back to the camera, there's really nothing. I could be using the Hasbro code. I don't want to. We already have had Wrath release, and I'm pretty sure that disc is also going to be with Wrath because it is Wrath shape. Now, the Cobra chip, we have seen the evolution. Now, basically, because the image on there is so low quality that if I zoomed in for the video, it wouldn't be really worth it. But basically, on the recolor of Vanished Cobra, it's like an S shape, but it's not really an S. There are other snakes. I also think in the original one, they're not going to have it painted. I think probably actually, now for the colors I'm predicting on Wrath Cobra, do I think it's going to be the colors of actually Poison Cobra or Viper Hydrax? I think, knowing Hasbro's track record, they will go with Viper Hydrax, but the chip will be colored like the actual Cobra because they're not, consistency be damned. For the other parts, we already know it's going to at least have to have a new disc, and I'm pretty sure there's also some armor or whatever. Performance tip, who cares, because none of it really matters, but to end off with our last image for the video. The last one, which is, what are your thoughts? Comment them below. What are your predictions for Wave 4 for the starter stuff? There is 2-packs, but the thing is, doing 2-pack predictions, we don't know what 2-packs are and what, and because considering that what I originally thought was for what, they might swap it around, it's not really worth it. So that is where we're going to be ending off this video. And I want you to really let me know, what do you think? How do you think they're going to do it? And why? Because it's always fun to have this discussion with the actual parts and everything. And I think what we'll do is, instead of me doing a full prediction on all the wave stuff, what we can do is that I will get parts like this on the next wave, which is going to be eventually Wave 4, or even maybe the Stadium or sets, we can do predictions like that. So before I actually end off, speaking of Beyblades with gimmicks, we have our shop, which is amazing. We are a Canadian seller. We have a lot of stuff like the Holy King Belial, Roar Bahamut Violet version, even a Super Belial deal with Dynamite Devil, Dynamite, and a free Dangerous, random booster stuff, Ultimate Valkyrie, and many more stuff. If you are able to support the channel through our shop, we greatly appreciate it, but I will also take comments either way. And with that being said, I hope everyone does enjoy this video. And if you want to see more videos like this in the future, really liking and subscribing to the channel does a lot for us, as well as commenting. And I want to see a lot of engagement. I want to see debates in the comments. Do you think they'll screw it up? Do you think maybe they'll do one of them actually really good? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching. Have a wonderful day, and bye.